Venture recently got their first genuine buff in Overwatch 2. Sure, in the past they were made better, but those are more so quality of life buffs. Things that made the hero a little more consistent. Now for those not in the know, what is this substantial buff? The insane thing Venture mains are currently raving about. Going from a 0.7 second recovery time on primary to a 0.6 second recovery time on primary. I know, sounds massive. Major even. Cause it actually is. I can already name a good amount of kills I only got because I shot a little bit faster. But if you recall my previous video, you know how I feel about this being the Venture buff. Because this isn't what they needed. It helps, but what they needed was a better way to escape on their own. Venture really relies on having their tank, or in the game mode where Venture is actually good, tanks, be there to help them get out or take some of the fire away. Venture works best when they can be a sort of third tank, or at least this is what I've been finding recently. When I play Venture as a third tank, I do good. When I try and be a backline solo assassin, I do bad. But at least to me, Venture always presented as a backline assassin. But then again, I used to present as a male and I hated myself back then, so maybe I've just learned how to play the character. Took long enough. I won't get into it here, but if you really want to hear my thoughts on Venture's current state, go watch my previous video on them. Now as for their current state after the buffs, well, I actually dominated a few games I played, so let's talk about them. Game 1 would be on Circuit Royale, to my dismay. And what you likely know is that we got map voting recently. It's really good for the game. And yet some people have still claimed it's bad. And I feel there's no better way to convey my opinion than by stealing someone else's joke.
Yeah, I don't like it. How?
Overwatch players are fucking insane. The problem we used to encounter is playing unfun maps such as New Queen Street, Esperanza, Runasapi, and Colosseo. Now, you may say, hey, aren't those all push maps? Map voting does the concept perfectly. 3 maps to choose from. And to avoid the problem TF2 has where every casual server is constantly rotating between the same 5 maps, it's not based on majority rule. It sometimes sucks when some dumb fuck votes for one of the previously mentioned maps, but, you know, every once in a while playing a push game isn't so bad. Oh, Jesus, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little. But no, I swear to God, the Overwatch team can't do anything without people complaining. Anyways, speaking of bad maps, Circuit Royale, a map I obviously hate. And it's also a 100% win rate for me on Venture. And this match actually kept it that way. But only thanks to the team working together, keeping the enemies off the second point near the ending. And despite us winning either way, I'm still mad that we couldn't push all the way. Because we easily could have if I just picked the right perk. Seriously, let us fix our perk if we make a little fuck up. Give us a 5 to 10 second grace period to press R again and reselect our perks. If I just had my range perk, this Kiri would be fucking dead. The same Kiri that kept this Winston alive and single-handedly won the fight for her team. In the same vein, I could have single-handedly won us this fight if I just clicked the right perk. Why the hell was our entire push decided because I accidentally right-clicked when I meant to left-click? I understand why we can't just swap our perks mid-match. I really don't want it to just be a, oh, you can always swap your perks, but there should definitely be a small grace period. But talking about Venture's base, oh my goodness, this buff is strong. There were many kills I could only get because of faster recovery between shots. But most importantly, what truly won us this game was an optimistic outlook. I mean it, blaming your team is a very, very, very fast way to lose a game. Supporting them may not ensure victory, but it doesn't reduce the odds either. Why focus on what your team isn't doing? Or better yet, if you truly have nothing good to say, don't say shit! The next game was on Ilios. We lost. The game after, on Rialto, is where I saw Venture's personal hell. Thera, Sigma, and Diva. But oh, it gets worse, since a little while later, they swapped to add Juno, Mercy, and fucking Freya into that lineup. This here is a picture that describes how I feel about this. Yeah, I cannot fucking dig that. Miraculously, however, a combination of my team helping me and the enemy team just being bad led us to victory. Now, I'd like to note that this drawing was made by K-Cobb at my Discord server. The link is right there in the description. It's the easiest way to get notifications for streams, videos, and upcoming things. You'll also see down there the link to my Patreon, where every week a new creator commentary track is released. If you like these Venture videos or my editing style, check it out. Episode 1 is free, so if you aren't sure, see what they're like and have a watch. And if you simply enjoy my adventure content, consider subscribing. We're getting super duper close to hitting 2K subs on YouTube, and that would be an amazing milestone to hit. Anyways, yeah, somehow this was a match of Venture 1. That's awesome! Next game in King's Row, I made a fair amount of really good plays. I was trying to remember my coaching, not dying and stealing space. I did all of that, while also being a little bit more risky. Moments like this where I went in on this map completely threw the enemy team off. The Echo attempted to stop me, and sure, I couldn't secure the kill. In fact, I missed every single fucking shot. But the Echo gets folded quickly. Then with a well-used ult from Pop-Tart the Genji main, we took the point. Next round... How the actual shit... That kills me! Past that, thanks to Pop-Tart the Genji main once again, we won with flying colors. And the next game, we were up against... well, son of a... Midtown, the next map, had a lot of momentum in the start. I had some big plays. And then we just... I don't really know actually, but we sure as hell didn't win. Okay, a day later, I loaded into a match, and for some reason my team was trying to ban Venture. I forced a ban on Sombra instead since my own team was trying to ban my fucking character. And turns out the reason that we're doing this was because they were Masters players who didn't want to play with a one-trick. Is this what Master players look like? Maybe you see people who like just one character on the whole roster and just say, oh, I don't like them playing that character. Let's ban them so they play someone else I do want them to play. Non-stop, I was the issue just cause I wouldn't swap. And, buddy, I don't swap cause Venture is a hero I want to play. This is Overwatch 2. The video game. This may be the competitive mode, but in my opinion, in no setting should fun come second in a video game. And Venture is the hero I find fun. And you know what? I got good picks. So when my team starts following me when I'm genuinely doing all I can do, I ask, okay, what can I do better? God, this series is a lot of reiterating the same points over again, but... the solution to every losing match isn't to switch. You will never get better if you swap every time you do poorly. Obviously, despite me being a one-trick, I will say give yourself hero pools. Do not one-trick if you want to improve overall. I just want to improve with Venture exclusively. If you want to play Tracer and Genji, guess what? Play Tracer and Genji. If you find a matchup where Tracer isn't the best, play into it. I assure you can find a way to beat that matchup. And if truly nothing works, that's when you switch. You don't switch because you are losing. You switch because you're incapable of doing anything. If you're merely not doing well, you need to stick on your hero or you will not improve. And you know what? Despite this being a Masters lobby, my team wasn't much better than me. Me and my Zen made a clear mistake by shooting at Genji who's obviously going to use Deflect. But instead of whining, oh Genji's a stupid character, or oh Zen, why would you shoot that deflecting Genji? I'm gonna lock this in my brain. So next time I'm in that scenario, that Genji won't even have the chance to hit me. Watch how a Reinhardt just charges in, basically asking for a hazard to wall him off and make him dead. Anyways, let's just move past that match. That was just simply annoying. In the next match, I attempted to do voice chat. I tried to keep my team spirits up, it didn't work. Optimism can only get you so far. Sometimes, your team just isn't gonna work. I asked if anyone could play Orisa. No one responded. This was fine. I wasn't gonna flame my team for wanting to swap up their heroes. And besides, what does it matter if our Ryan main who's never touched Orisa started to play Orisa? A hero is only as strong as a player playing them. The team in the last game wanted me to go Lucio. I'm not a great Lucio. If I played him, I'd look like a crippled Frogger. Hey guys, check out this awesome role I just learned. Fuck! Yeah, we have a little downtime. Let's talk Venture Cosmetics real quick. Venture is getting a skin. At some point. I'm not sure when, hopefully soon though. But the cosmetic looks really cool and so does the accompanying emote. I'll be buying this frame one for sure. However, there's another skin I'm still waiting and demanding we get one day. Now that we're not allergic to giving Venture cosmetics, can we please talk about Voidwalker Venture? They're so perfect, so rabbit, so pink. So game after, I went up against Hatsune Miku. Lucky for me, Miku and her team were quite susceptible to all my funny business. Venture can thrive in an environment where the enemy has to push them. Their problems lie in getting themselves in there. So, when you force enemies to have to fight you, you're always setting yourself up for success. Although when looking back at the footage, I had to slow it down to see something. Seeing my aim, oh god, I flick a lot. Like, I shoot my gun, then I aim at the Kiriko after I fired the gun? Yeah, you know what, maybe in the next episode I'll try some extensive aim training. Though that's not the end of this episode yet. We still have 2 more matches to play. One on my trauma center where our tank gave up after 1 round. So, and the last game of the video. So, last game our team complained and gave up the last point. Here, we struggled all the way up to the last point. But this is when I started to try out the playstyle I just explained. I put all my effort completely into baiting the enemies into my areas. Victory is best when I have my abilities, and I retain my abilities when I don't go in. So fuck you, enemy team. You wanna not be shot? You have to commit your own abilities. Ryan no longer has charge for this fight, which easily could have been the singular deciding factor between a fight won or lost. Throw everything I just said out the window. Venture is even better when they have the tanks to take damage away from them. When I'm sitting up here on my Wednesday and Doomfist jump in, suddenly this emerge and dash out combo becomes a, oh, our small dive killed half of your team. I continued to play with my tanks that game. Playing Venture as a 3rd tank can seriously bring you results. It was this coordination between 3 people who weren't talking whatsoever that won us this match. Anyways, that's this week's games. Venture's buff was pretty good, even if it's not what they need to function the way they seemingly are intended to work, and I'm seriously enjoying this new wave of Venture cosmetics that's being brought forward. It feels like a lot of the early mistakes made by this hero are finally being fixed. Again, if you enjoy this content, subscribe. It helps the channel out so much. And also comment and let me know why you could be doing better. I'd like to thank Kang and Lastby for supporting me on Patreon. This sort of donation really helps me continue doing YouTube and streaming. If you want to help me, consider joining yourself and enjoying the benefits.